Good morning. We'll go ahead and call this regular session to order. Yuma County Board of Supervisors also sitting as all special taxing district, October 2, 2023. Board members will attend either in person, by telephone, or remotely via electronic conferencing. We are here. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go ahead and move on. Call to the public. Call to the public is held for the public benefit to allow individuals to address issues within the board's jurisdiction. Board members may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda. Therefore, pursuant to Arizona Revised Statute 38-431.01H, action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to criticism, or scheduling the matter for further discussion and decision at a future date. Public comments may be made in person or submitted by email at publiccomments@yumacountyaz.gov. The email forms of public comments will be accepted until 8 a.m. the morning of the meeting. All public comments will be read out loud during the Yuma County Board of Supervisors meeting that starts at 9 a.m. Do we have any emails this way?
No.
I do have a speaker form. Gail Castricone.
Here's your required reading material for over the last several years of County B&C. Good morning. My name is Gail Castricone. I am the neighborhood advocate for the Avenue B&C Colonial Butterfly Project. I'm sorry that today my Butterfly Project bag is not full of goodies for all of you, but I see that you are blessed with goodies anyway, so what else? That's great. I brought these binders containing information about the restoration of the Avenue B&C Colonia since 2005. I have a lot more at home. I see a distinct pattern when addressing the problems in the Avenue B&C Colonia. I continually speak out about the concerns from the residents. They are the same concerns year after year. After having my family home for 45 years, we have seen baby steps of progress when it comes to crime, slum, and blight, but not enough to keep us safe. It is such a shame that the residents in our area are constantly victimized while the owners of the Band Park continue to make profit, even though they are continually out of compliance. In all of these years, our community has never had to endure the humiliation when friends and family come to visit and see Band Trailer Park with all of its trash, broken windows, abandoned cars, unstable, trashed trailers with graffiti on them. There was another attempted homicide on September 12th. The children that live in the Band Trailer Park and surrounding area will be emotionally scarred because of being exposed to such violence on such a consistent basis. Who is going to advocate for them? They are at the mercy of the broken system where they have to be constantly exposed to the worst of all conditions. That should be inexcusable in a country as great as America. We just had a wonderful family that had put money, sweat, and tears into their first home located on 5th Street. They now have their home up for sale. They told me that they can no longer jeopardize the safety of their little girl because of the rise in crime. Their family was very proactive in voicing their concerns. We will miss them very much. Please read the broken window theory. The county and the city should implement this program for the safety of all of the communities. After all the years of trying to encourage and help the community receive the benefits of a safe environment, I get tired but never want to give up. I'm encouraged by Galatians 6:9 in the Bible. Let us not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season we will reap if we do not lose heart. God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you, Gail, for your concerns there. And I assure you that we're moving on that and, towards a better direction. So I'm glad you heard them, but we're moving forward. Thank you. And I'll go ahead and leave the call to the public open to the end of the meeting. Anybody else that wants to, they don't need a speaker form? None? All right, I'll move on to presentations, proclamations, and appointments. Any appointments or?
No.
Item number 1, Public Works. Present a certificate of appreciation to Elston Grubau and Welton Mohawk Irrigation.
Good morning, members, Mr. Chairman, and members of the board. I'm Kelly Fricke, Public Works Director, and this is Santos Guerrero, our Highway Maintenance Manager. Over the years, a strong and productive partnership has been forged between Yuma County Public Works Department and the Welton Mohawk Irrigation and Drainage District. And today we're here to honor this collaboration and express our heartfelt gratitude to the Welton Mohawk Irrigation District with a special mention of their General Manager, Elston Grubau, who works closely with Public Works. During the critical period of the water release from the Painted Rock Dam, the district's assistance was invaluable. They played a pivotal role in the removal and reinstallation of the Gila River crossings, ensuring the safety and well-being of the residents of East Yuma County. And we wish to extend our deepest appreciation for their unwavering support and dedication to serving the residents of East Yuma County. And their efforts have truly made a difference. And I've got our highway, Santos is going to, he's been instrumental in maintaining close ties with the members of the district. And I'd like to invite him now to give you, share more intricate details and events surrounding the dam's water release. His first-hand experience will provide a unique perspective on that significant event. So, Santos, please.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr.
Good
Chairman.
morning.
Members of the board. Yeah, like Kelly said, I've been with the county a long time, and our partnership with Welton Mohawk has been, outstanding, especially during these times of the Gila River, and not just the Gila River, because it only flows. I mean, it only floods, every 8 to 10 years, 12 years or so. But their assistance is really appreciated, and not just during those flooding events, but also the monsoon storms. I mean, for example, this past year we just put all those river crossings back after the Gila flood, and then we have this big Labor Day storm that we had, and it took out half of those crossings again. So we're working with them right now, and Elston, we met with Elston before the Gila River flood came, and we made up a plan of how we were going to tackle it, and working with Randy, his supervisor, Randy Reinhardt, and then our crew, Billy Pfizer. They're working to get those river crossings put back in, but for various other things too. I mean, they got gravel pits out there that we get material from. If we need material, or we need to work with a bulldozer or loader, they're always willing to assist us, and we just wanted to show our appreciation for that. And that being said, we'd like to give them this certificate. Elston and Randy, if you guys want to come up. So it's just a certificate of appreciation presented to Elston and Welton Mohawk Irrigation District. The certificate is presented to Elston Grubau and the staff of Welton Mohawk Irrigation District for your service to the residents of East Yuma County. Your assistance in dealing with the release of water from Painted Rock Dam is greatly appreciated. Your staff's enthusiasm and dedication to service is appreciated, and we are pleased to recognize your commitment to serving the residents. We look forward to continuing our long-lasting relationship with you and your staff. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
We also got them a couple nice public works caps. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with our traffic control department. They put together these signs, and this sign, just thanks them again for their collaboration with Public Works and the services you provide to the residents of East Yuma County.
Nice. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Mr. Chairman,
We buy those as well, so we know what these cost.
You guys get up here and take a
Yeah, we
picture.
want to take a picture
Yeah.
over there with you
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, good, okay.
Right here. You're right here, you're right here.
We'll stand up.
Come over here
Oh,
close.
yeah, that sounds good.
Bring over here close.
Okay.
Kelly, come over here.
And we'll
We'll just look over you, make you feel nervous.
Hold it. Thank you, Amber. Hold on, one more.
Big smiles. I can't see you, Supervisor Reyes. There we go, perfect. All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
It's the glare.
It's on purpose.
Randy, I'm behind you. Thank you guys for everything you do.
partnership.
Elliston, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm on the end, I get to get.
Oh, man.
How are you?
Mr.
I can
Chairman,
only imagine what's gonna happen with the 4-H.
I just want to add something to what Public Works said. I've been out in the East County since probably about 90, and I can remember back that far, the irrigation district helping the county with the roads and anything that pops up. This isn't a one-time thing for them. So again, I just want to thank you guys for all your support and your help.
And just to add to that, Supervisor Simmons, I think this just shows how Yuma County works together with many different entities. The partnership that that departments develop throughout the whole Yuma County, that is great. It just shows how we need to be, working together. Thank you. Moving on to item number 2, Chairman proclaims October 1st to the 7th, 2023 as 4-H week in Yuma County.
Can I? Yeah, go ahead. You guys come up first. Oh, I'll do the proclamation. I wanted you guys to stand up here while I read it, but that's okay. Can you do that? Sorry. Turn around and look out that way so that
Couple of instructions.
He used to be a school teacher.
Can you tell? I used to be a school teacher, yes. I want them on camera. Okay. Proclaiming the week of October 1st to the 7th, 2023 as 4-H week in Yuma County. Whereas 4-H is America's largest youth development organization, empowering nearly 6 million young people with lifelong leadership skills. And whereas 4-H, as a part of the University of Arizona Cooperative Extension Service, is a program where youth learn through opportunities that provide hands-on experience, living the motto, learning by doing. And whereas each of the 4 H's on the clover represent ways youth can grow and develop in 4-H. The first H stands for head, for critical thinking and problem solving. The second H stands for heart, for self-discipline, integrity, and communication. The third H stands for hands, for serving others. And the fourth H is for health, for choosing healthy lifestyles. And whereas 4-H could not have accomplished what it already has without the service of its volunteer leaders who have given generously of their time, talent, energies, and resources to our youth. And whereas Yuma County Board of Supervisors is proud to honor the important work being done by the 4-H and encourage the continuing development of young people across our state. Now, therefore, the Yuma County Board of Supervisors proclaim the week of October 1st to the 7th, 2023, to be 4-H week in Yuma County, and urge the people of this community to recognize 4-H for the significant impact they have made and continue to make by empowering youth with the skills they need to lead for a lifetime. Signed, Martin Porches, Chairman of the Board.
Thank you, Lynn.
Can you guys do the 4-H pledge for me? Okay. Eric, can you get him doing that? I know Eric's back there. Can you focus on him?
Thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health for better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world.
Yes.
We just wanted to say thank you guys so much for recognizing National 4-H Week, and we'd also like to say thank you for your guys' continuous and ongoing support of the 4-H Club and community. So if you guys wouldn't mind, we're going to introduce ourselves and say what kind of projects we're a part of in 4-H.
Oh, yeah.
So hi guys, my name's Wyatt Bacon. I'm a senior at Cibola. I've been in 4-H for about 6 years now, and I show rabbits and market beef.
Hi everyone, I'm Nathan Stewart. I am a senior at Cibola. I've been in 4-H for 8 years now, and I show market beef and KV.
My name's Adam Straub. I'm a senior at Cibola, and I show dairy goats.
My name is Ryan Brooks. I'm a senior at Gila Ridge High School. I've been in 4-H for 10 years, and I show goats.
Hi, my name's Caitlin Lugo. I'm a senior at Cibola, and I show swine and beef.
Hi, my name's Isaac Chapman. I'm a senior at Cibola High School, and I show rabbits and beef.
Very nice. Okay. We want to take pictures with you. Sorry, guys. I didn't.
We need to. Who's getting the?
Yes, go ahead. You got it.
Finally got you. Come back over here again. Yes. That's good. Yeah. This won't fit.
We got a scrunch. All right.
Go back to school.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes, now it's back to school. Yes, I'm a hug. Oh, and you know, I'm always my first class. Yes.
This is the reason you wore green today?
Yes, hello. Thank you, Tony. I'm glad somebody noticed.
She's got a green pen. Fitting right in.
Uh-huh.
And my screen shot is the green.
Move on to item number 3. Chairman proclaims October 2023 to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Yuma County. Mr. Simmons.
Alrighty, proclaiming October 2023 to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Yuma County. Whereas October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy and dignity and humanity due to systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control and/or abuse, including abuse to children and the elderly. And whereas anyone can be a victim of domestic violence regardless of the age, sex, ability, ethnicity, ethnicity, sexual orientation, social economic status, or religion. And whereas the impact of domestic violence is wide-ranging, directly affecting individuals and society as a whole in this community throughout the United States and the world. And whereas only a coordinated community effort will put a stop to this terrible crime. And whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides an opportunity for citizens to learn more about preventing domestic violence and to show support for the numerous organizations and individuals who provide critical advocacy services and assistance to victims. Now, therefore, the month of October 2023 is hereby proclaimed Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Yuma County in recognition of victims of domestic violence and those who serve them during the month and throughout the year. And I just want to add my thank you to everything you guys do. I worked with you in the past, and the job you guys do is nothing short of outstanding, and the way you care about the people and your victims.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Alicia Franco is the co-chair for the Victim Rights Committee, here to speak today.
Morning.
Thank you for recognizing the efforts of the many organizations in Yuma County that assist victims of domestic violence. Our organization, Yuma County Victims' Rights Committee, is composed of various agencies throughout Yuma County who provide assistance to them. And throughout this month, several of our organizations provide ongoing, I should say, community outreach events and stuff and fundraisers throughout this month. And so first of all, I'd like to, some of them are here and they have activities. So I would like to welcome to the podium Estrella Fitch, who represents A Healing Journey. And we're going to go in order of activities for the month. So, Estrella.
My name is Estrella Fitch, CEO and founder of The Healing Journey. And during the year, we put several events, like the Women's Empowerment Conference was in May. In October, we're going to do a walk. This is Vanessa Corrales, and she is actually our fundraising committee member. And what we're going to do is a walk, and she has the flyers. And it's in support of domestic violence, because a lot of it happens in the dark or away from sight, because this is what the goal is, to keep it quiet and under. So we decided to walk in the evening just up to a few blocks from where our office is on 4th Avenue to bring awareness of a true crime. And it is a crime, because it's hard to identify a victim of domestic violence. And there's so much judgment on them because the recidivism rate. But at The Healing Journey, there is no judgment. There is no timeline. You heal at your time. Your children are there. We work with women and we work with men who are victims of domestic violence. So with that said, we do have some events, and Vanessa, being our committee member, is going to speak briefly about that.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So on October 20th, we're having our second annual Under the Grapevines event. It is a beer and wine tasting event. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge our sponsors. As of now, we have Yuma International Airport, AquaSafe Restoration, the Arnold Team Realtors, Keller Williams, Beauty That Blesses, Doten Photography, Noemi Robles and Anaí Torres of Remax Territory, AEA Credit Union, First Bank Yuma, R.L. Jones Shelley Mellon, Yuma Investment Group, Renee Armijo of Armijo State Farm Insurance, and Precious Treasures. And we are still open if anybody knows of anybody that would like to sponsor the event. And we're going to leave some flyers with Desiree, if that's okay. And I didn't really prepare a speech because she asked me to talk this morning. I wish I would have. And then I see some beautiful faces that I know, so I'm a little embarrassed, but I can tell you how the great things that Estrella does. I feel blessed to be part of the committee. I didn't know Rita McGee. I'm sure everybody in the world knows Rita. She's knocking on doors every day. She brought me into the committee. Less than a year of being with Estrella, I had to send one of my loved ones to receive some trauma therapy, and she has just worked wonders in his life. So I just want to thank you, Estrella. I'm super proud to be part of your committee. Thank you, guys.
We also have present with us from the Safe House, Jody.
Hello, everyone. So we are doing our third annual walk for the Somerton Domestic Violence Task Force, and it is October 12th at Bushmasters Veteran Memorial Site. So come out and join us to walk to stop and fight against domestic violence. Thank you.
What time? What time does it start?
Starts at 5.
5.
And then we have our what we're calling the Domestic Violence Awareness Event, which we are holding at the Centennial Heritage Area, which is the park area by the main library. And thank you to the library for all they do and providing us with that venue. It's a wonderful venue. You should be proud of the library, all the libraries in town, and all the work they do for the community as well. Anyway, our event will be Thursday, October 26th from 5:30 to 6:30. Again, we will have some light refreshments for those who are able to attend, and that is sponsored by the main committee, the Yuma County Victims' Rights Committee. And we also thank the supervisors because one of you is always there to read the proclamation for us. And we thank you very much for your participation and recognition of the hard work that all these advocates do on behalf of the residents of Yuma County. So, thank you very much for that.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just recap today's events quickly. As you can see, this is a national event, and what happens during these events across our country are as vast and varied as the particular people who work with them. But it's all the same. We're all here to honor victims of domestic violence, recognize survivors, and certainly connect with those who work once and for all to end the violence completely, if that can ever happen. So I just want to recap the events because we do have Amberley's Place here as well, representatives, and they did a kickoff Friday before October with law enforcement so they could get all the paraphernalia out on the vehicles and get that rolling. It was in the paper Saturday morning. So that was on September 30th. I believe on Tuesday, the 10th of October, there will be a candlelight vigil at the Healing Journey. That's their location on 4th Avenue. It's 2197 South 4th Avenue. And again, Wednesday on the 12th, the Somerton Domestic Violence Candlelight Vigil will take place at Bushmasters Veteran Memorial Park. And lastly, on October 26th, Domestic Violence Awareness event will take place at the Centennial Heritage Area Library, main library at 5:30. So everybody's welcome to attend these events. It's open to the public. And if they just want to meet those who either just go to honor those who are victims or meet those who connect or both, it's a great opportunity to get to know your community and know your resources that are available. There will be numerous tables set up at most of these events. And I didn't mean to take the floor if anybody else had more to say, but you're the chairman.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Mary, would you like to say anything? Or Tori, would you like to say anything? Come on.
So first and foremost, on behalf of all of us that do this work and our team at Amberley's Place, thank you for acknowledging Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I do have one more event to add. Our detectives from the Yuma Police Department have also
You need to move to the center.
Yeah, so they can hear you
have
better.
also opted to do a walk on October 19th, but it's during the day. And it's going to go from YPD's parking lot to Amberley's Place. So it's a mile. And we would invite everybody to join into that. It'll be during the day, so it'll be more visible. Their traffic unit will provide escort for us, and we'll have some light refreshments back at the center to, again, recognize this awareness month and invite everybody to join us. But again, thank you on behalf of all of us that do this work for your continued support and allowing us to do these things and serve our community in this capacity.
Thank you. I want to take this moment just to thank everybody that does, the help out there for domestic violence. It is very critical to have someone that can support someone else. Thank you. Go ahead.
Mary.
Lynn, I wasn't planning on speaking, so thank you for putting me on the spot. My name is Mary McClendon. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the Agency Director for Catholic Community Services, Yuma. I'll just echo what everybody has said today already. Thank you for your ongoing support. Thank you to the Yuma community. It doesn't take much to stay in touch with Facebook, with the Yuma Sun, with the YPD, to know that it is alive and prevalent in our community, unfortunately. So everybody's work, everybody's time, everybody's consideration is more critical than ever before. You all are funding the expansion of Safe House, some opportunities for us to be able to provide more space for families that come in, victims with 2, 3, 4, 5 children that are being huddled into one room for safety and security. So again, your recognition of the work that everybody does here, everything that we're trying to do to make a safe environment and a safe community that people want to live in and grow in, our FFA youth, sending a message that it's critical across the board. So thank you today, thank you tomorrow, and thank you for forever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to say that the week of, I think it's from the 11th to the 13th, the board has a conference
Yeah.
that week, so in Flagstaff. So, but I will try to be there on the 12th in Somerton. So I can, if you want me to read the proclamation, I can do that. So, and if can we all get a picture?
It's one of those situations where we might be wise to stay in the back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I know we like to join them, but look.
Get everybody up
They
there.
don't fit. They don't fit.
Oh, yes. No. And I had my other pin before you gave me.
And this is a big group.
Thank you. I want to wear mine. Uh-huh. There's one. Before we take a picture.
Yes.
Here we go. There's 2 more for those 2 guys. Okay. Got it. Hold on.
Wait a second.
We're putting on our purple pins. Hold on just a
Getting our
second.
ribbons.
Hold on.
Shall I get my purple ribbon on?
So I can get any closer to the chair.
Scoot in.
Uh-huh.
Do we need to shift everybody this way? Yeah. Okay, everybody come this way.
Gotta squeeze in a little more. I know.
This way, guys.
You guys
John,
everybody
this
like
way.
each other. Okay. All right.
Scoot over, John. Scoot over. No, back. This way. Back.
So now
Or
it's
get it.
just-
You need to get into it.
There we go.
You all need to get into it.
Okay. Me in pictures. Wait. Oh, okay.
Don't breathe. Hold it. Another 2 minutes.
Everybody just stay there. There we go. Perfect. All right, everybody, look at me. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
No cheating on the eyes. Seen you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything you do. Thank you. Thank you guys for what you do. I can't tell you. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you do. Really appreciate it. I know. Nice to see you. Yeah. The 26th? Yes.
Are you running away real quick?
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Yes, you take care.
Check in the mail or something like, people go look. I'm in jail there. Where's he?
Cliff, you're next. Prepped.
That meeting, is that, they said Wednesday the 12th, but Wednesday's the 11th.
Yeah, or Friday the 12th.
The 26th.
Thursday the 12th, okay. Yeah, we're gonna be.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to item number 14. Chairman proclaims.
She can do it alone. Now you insist that I won't be able to work.
3 to be National Cybersecurity Awareness Month in Yuma County. Chairman Knight?
Yes. In today's tech-centric world, individuals, schools, and businesses and organizations rely heavily on advanced technologies for various aspects of their lives and operations, including communication, financial management, research, education, and commerce. And the pervasive use of technology has given rise to an escalating threat landscape, with cyber attacks posing a significant risk to our personal privacy, financial security, and information infrastructure. And increasing public awareness is paramount to fostering a culture of cybersecurity
and equipping employees with the knowledge and tools needed to protect themselves and their digital assets. Resilient cybersecurity demands the collective commitment of employees, public leaders, and dedicated cybersecurity professionals, particularly in the face of emerging threats such as ransomware and critical infrastructure vulnerabilities. And the observance of National Cybersecurity Awareness Month in 2023 affords us the opportunity to recognize and honor the vital contributions of Yuma County's IT security professionals and all those who work tirelessly to safeguard our digital world. Now, therefore, the month of October 2023 is hereby proclaimed to be National Cybersecurity Month in Yuma County, in conjunction with the observance of National Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I hope it doesn't mean we have to change our password even more often.
No.
You know, we have an item in there in the agenda for you.
Correct, sir. Correct. Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chair, members of the board. Cliff Summers, Chief Information Officer for Yuma County. I just want to give you a little light background on NSAM, or actually National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So it's recognized by the President of the United States and Congress since 2004. NSAM is a partnership between public and private entities to support and promote awareness of cybersecurity. At this time, I'd like to introduce behind me Michael Padilla, which Michael Padilla is our IT Security Administrator, Jesus Cervantes, Deputy Chief Information Officer, and Christina Brumley, IT Security Analyst. Michael?
Sure. Hello, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Michael Padilla. I'm the IT Security Administrator. And it's through efforts and events like this that our employees really have an idea of what cybersecurity is. Because of your support in NSAM, I'm proud to say that we're definitely a local leader when it comes to cybersecurity. And not just Yuma County, but also in Arizona. There's a lot of things, a lot of achievements that we've achieved just in our small group here that I'm proud to say a lot of other local entities come to us, they ask us for advice, they ask questions and whatnot. And I think in order for us to maintain our lead, we also need to spend some time to look backwards at our previous accomplishments and also things that have happened in our community. So 2 years ago, we live in Yuma County, smaller county, and it's growing. But 2 years ago, we have ransomwares in our local community. And then a couple months ago, we have ransomware targeting two of the biggest casinos in the world. And what both of those things tell us are no matter where you are or how much money and effort or how much, commerce you're generating, you're always going to be a target. And it's through events like this where we help reduce the target that's on our back. So I want to show a large appreciation for your support, your continued support, and your previous support for National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. This year, we're bundling it with our yearly cybersecurity training. So all of our employees will definitely look forward to that. And of course, some optional stuff. So we're offering 3 optional trainings, 2 in-person events, and a photo contest. So our employees can go out there, do something fun. And of course, people who engage in our events will be subject to some sort of prize. So I'm very happy for that. Wrapping up, again, I really appreciate your guys' continued support in celebrating National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you guys haven't got me on a fishing yet. In the last 3 months.
Oh, that's good. I think that speaks to a testament to, because we send and we don't hold back.
I know, you send them to me.
Aside here, cyber criminals don't hold back. So COVID's new, we send them your way. And some people get upset, but if they're not holding back, why should we? We really want everybody, board members, our employees, to be very educated when it comes to the threats out there.
Is there a requirement for facial hair in the IT world? I can start off right away.
I got it from Davey.
Yes. Oh, that's good, yes. So, yes.
Can we take a picture?
Just the males.
Yes.
Just males, the female. This one we may be able to fit.
Hey, I have
I'll
gotten
go-
so careful.
What do you want me to do? Dead center.
There we go.
2 criminals.
You said that.
Don't get the glare.
You haven't taught him yet.
I thought you will. You need to lead. This is a serious matter.
Everybody look at me. 1, 2, 3. Big garage.
Thank you. I'm going to congratulate the chairman. Congratulate Martin. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You guys can keep that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. I recommend you open your gift first so you know what's in it. Good job in clearing the room, Mayor.
I'm sorry.
What was that?
That was for Desiree.
Moving on to consent calendar. The following items listed on the consent agenda will be considered as a group and acted upon by one motion with no separate discussion unless a board member so requests. In that event, the item will be removed from the consent calendar for separate discussion and action. And I think everybody said that it's okay. No
8 and 10.
8 and 10?
Well, the cybersecurity people is here, so it'd be nice to ask them a couple of questions.
Okay.
I'll make a motion we approve 1 through 13.
With the exception of 8 and 10.
Second.
With the exception of 8 and 10.
With the exception of 8 and 10.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Yeah.
I'll second.
And a second to approve items 1 to 13 with the exception of 8 and 10. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
You got 2 minutes.
Okay, it's both, I'm gonna put them both together. So the one was, they're both information technology, although they're listed separately. Authorize the chief information officer to renew a 3-year contract with CrowdStrike Falcon Complete through the Optiv Security Inc. in the amount of $133,915.23. And number 10, facility management is to award a bid in the amount of $130,588.86 for the access control sheriff's office detention facilities project. And then authorize the facilities managing director to enter into a contract with Electronic Security Concepts as a qualified low responsible bidding contract. I know what it's about, and I know that there are different departments. So my question is, okay, so as Yuma County in general, we have a contract with Falcon, CrowdStrike Falcon. Why isn't it the same contract? Why doesn't it apply, or does it apply to the sheriff's department?
Supervisor Reyes, with the sheriff's office, they're a separate entity somewhat from us. We work within Yuma County proper in the sense of all the departments and offices within the county. Sheriff's office, they have their own security team or security position. They handle their network. What we share with them primarily is they have access into Oracle. They have access into a few other applications on our side, but they're a separate operating unit.
The reason I ask is because in security, there's always this saying that the weakest link is always the problem, right? And if it's one system, it's one system. But if the county has a different system operator for the sheriff's department, you know, and I guess your answer was, will you share certain things? But you don't share.
I think one is IT and the other one is like
Administrative.
For door security, like, you know, they're not gonna let you in just because you're.
Tony,
So,
they've excluded.
So, okay, Tiffany, you're gonna explain the sheriff's department side because of.
Yes, Chairman, Supervisor Reyes. The ITS item is for cybersecurity. The facilities item number 10, is for physical security of our buildings. So it is our proxy access system. Similar to their IT system, the sheriff's office has a standalone access control system for their facilities. That is what we're upgrading this year. It is consistent. We're upgrading it to be consistent with the county buildings so that there's ease of administration, but their system is standalone due to the need of their business.
Got it. So it's not for cybersecurity, it's actually for physical security.
It is physical security of our buildings, yes.
All right. Gotcha. That's it. That was the answer.
Thank you.
Liz, thank you. I'll go ahead and make a motion. We authorize item number 8 and 10.
I will second that.
There's a motion and a second to approve items 8 and 10 as presented. Any other discussion? Any other
As long as they can-
security?
as long as they can get into.
Don't give them a chance.
Well, you looked at me.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to discussion and action items. Item number 1, Budget Director Tony Struck will provide an overview of fiscal year 2022-23 budgetary information. Tony?
Morning.
Morning.
So you drove I want to take, there's nobody left.
Nobody wanted to listen to
So
you.
nobody wants to listen to this.
Presentation, but I guess not, so.
Everybody left.
Everybody left.
No, you got Arlen here.
Where's Thursday?
Hey, finance people here, so.
Everybody left.
There we go. So what we're going to do today is just look at a little bit of how the actuals, unaudited actuals for the fiscal 22-23 ended up against what our projections were and what our budget was. So very short, hopefully. In the budget, let's see. So some of the topics, we're just going to look at the actual versus the projected unaudited numbers. I'm going to throw out some historical things by category, some sales tax and license graphs, and then some expenditure analysis. However, from a budget perspective, we always like spreadsheets and finance, so just wanted to show the first column is what we projected during the last year's budget process. The second column is the unaudited numbers as of actually last week, and then the difference between what we projected and what the actual was. And so what it shows is that on the revenue side of things, we're within like $400,000 of where we thought we were going to be over. And then on the expenditure side of things, about 1.6 million under, which will, if that holds true to the end of the audit, we'll end up with an additional $2 million to the fund balance. So that's fairly close. One of the...
Can you send that to me?
From a budget perspective and for a financial fiscal responsibility planning perspective, we have a goal of being within 3% on revenues and expenditures to projections so that we make sure that we're fairly accurate. This year, we're actually, the 423,000 on operating revenues is 0.2% within what we projected. So that's well, quite a bit better than we've been doing. There was a couple years in the past with the COVID that we were like 7% off and 6% because of the unexpected revenues, but we've been able to, between Gil and OMB, we really monitor those revenues, and we did a better job of projecting that. So we came in our goal of less than 3%, so that's a good thing. And then on our total sources of revenue, which includes our transfers in, we were right at about $400,000 higher. And then on the expenditure side of things, for just expenditures, excluding transfers out, we were about $1.6 million under budget. That's a 1.9% variance, so within the 3% that we were hoping for. And then total uses were about $1.6 million under on expenses. Historically, for 1920, fiscal 21, 22, and 23, it just shows the various revenue sources over that period of time, and you can see that property tax revenues is on the bottom. It's a major source of revenue, state shared sales taxes, and so as it gets larger, the smaller portions of our revenues. This is $6.7 million more than last year. State shared sales taxes were $2 million higher. Property taxes almost $1.8 million higher. County sales taxes 1.3, and then investments is about 0.65 higher. And then the busy slide, just more detail on budget. This is budget versus actual. This just shows the big variances, and we talked about these during the budget process where our tax revenues were positive. Intergovernmental includes reimbursement from the Altex from the state, and then our investments were up about $555,000. So budget to actual, about 9.5 difference, and then on the projected, we were the 423,000. Payment in lieu of taxes came in almost $400,000 higher than we expected. And I think that's the only thing I wanted to, the interest on investments, we missed that. Gil has required, or there's accounting rules about a year-end, you have to post unrealized losses on investments, so that's why we ended up a little bit less on there.
Say that again, please. Go back and say that again. Losses on investments.
So we were just investment. We were under our projections, and Gil has, there's a requirement that you post on the end of the last day of the year, whatever the value of our investments are, you have to post. So if it's on the books for a certain amount, then you have to post it. So there could be unrealized gains or unrealized losses. And so it's an accounting thing that finance started doing last year, actually.
Okay.
Just on a graphical, this is the state shared sales tax for 19. This is 2021, 2020, and 23. You see that we had a fairly significant increase here. There was the inflation was going on and sales started going up, but this is our funding. But it's kind of leveled off over the last couple of years, and then this year it actually leveled off a little more at the late in the year when things started to soften a little bit. The vehicle license tax has been pretty consistent over the last 3 years. It's hard to predict that one, but was pretty, it's higher than what it has been. And then on the county sales tax, the first column is the total amount of county sales tax. So you see from fiscal 20 to 21, we took a big jump, and then it kind of a little bit jumped, and this year it actually bumped up again. And then this is the major categories. You see retail as always the biggest component, but it kind of fell off a little bit towards the end of last year, so that evened up. Contracting is kind of however the market goes, but it took a rebound this year. And restaurant and bar sales have just, over the last 3 years, have been very strong for the county and for the state, actually. But just the other components of that, so just to show you what that is. On the
remote sales, we're getting more from remote sales than we never, at one point we didn't get remote sales. So
yeah,
remote sales, is that like Amazon and all of those, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so it keeps going up as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, we started collecting in 2020, and then so it's been on an upward path since that point. On the expense side of things, you can see historically by our major categories, personnel being the largest component of that, supplies and services, capital outlay. Our actual unaudited numbers have us at $87.2 million, which is about 10% higher than last year. Personnel went up $3.2 million, which is about a 6.5% increase. We had a 5% scale adjustment, and along with market increases and new FTEs, so that contributes to that. Supply and services over about $3.2 million. We had $1.2 million in Altex. The YSIPTA, we had the increase in the annual dues plus the one-time payment of about $600,000. Also increases in restoration to competency, EDP system services, user license agreements, and then also within that is an accounting thing where a lot of the capital outlay that we budgeted is actually being recorded in supplies and services, so that contributes to that as well. The capital outlay, we were over $1.4 million. We had that $2 million in there for the Magrino project that was for that loan, and it was included in the capital outlay category. And then the last slide It's just more of the actual details to show that year to year to the budget, we were about $8.6 million under budget. We were $1.6 million under on our projections, and by category where that was. The personnel side of things, at the end of the year, we had 69 open positions, and this is from the OMB tracking spreadsheet. In February, when I presented for the amount of open positions, we had 92. So we were able to fill a number of positions between February and the end of the year, so that's a positive note. The large variance in expenditures is that we do budget for full FTEs being filled through the whole year, and if you average 70 or 80 of those per month, then you're going to be under budget. So on the as far as the projected side of things, I think we estimate based on what the actuals are through February to the end of the year, and then by the time you have all the other things, it's very difficult to get close, but still within a couple $1 million on 53 is pretty close. The vacancies in attorneys, APO and juvenile contribute to the courts. If you have vacant positions, we budget, for the full salaries, and that's a pretty high rate. So, but that's a positive. I guess a positive thing of not being fully staffed. Health insurance, we budget at it's about almost $8,000 per employee. So if they're vacant, then 90 positions average for the year gives you about $771,000.
Tony, before you leave, on the debt service, 182,247. You projected that, and that's what actually happened in 21, 22, and 22, 23?
Yeah.
We didn't have any increases at all in
The debt in there is primarily, if I remember, you might have to help me. It's not our actual debt service. All the monies that get transferred to debt service funds, they're just like a lease or a capital lease payment or.
So they're not related to the bond issue?
It's not
related to the bond issue. It have to do with internal stuff. And this year, a lot of the operating leases are now recorded in debt service as well. So if you have a copier machine, they used to just go to supplies and services as a lease expense. Now they break it out into debt service between the two categories. So it's more of an accounting type thing. There's really very little debt.
What's the only thing that remained stable during 21, 22, 22, 23? Everything else was either up or down little. I mean, it's tough to project something so close to the dollar. So that kind of surprised me a little bit, that with your debt service, because I thought debt service was what you paid on your debt, which
outstanding
included,
debt.
yeah, which to me included bond issues and so forth, which is probably very low for bond issues. I mean, how do you keep track of that? Here comes Hill. How do you keep track of the bond payments? That's not called debt.
It's in a separate fund, and so all the interest payments and the bond principal payments and stuff get charged to the debt service funds.
So there's no way to tell on this sort of presentation anything that regards to debt, as I see debt.
What I was trying to look at how the budget to the actuals, Gil will can actually do a presentation he has in the past where he shows you how much debt we have and how much we paid off. So he can actually do an analysis on the actual bonds and all that stuff.
Okay, good. Ready to go.
I knew you were up there.
This is the actual girls. What Gil's, it's separate.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, Gil Villegas, Chief Financial Officer. I understand the question is about the 182.
Yes.
Yes.
So what we record in the general fund are lease payments that we have, not the long-term debt.
Payment requirements.
Like Tony mentioned, I think I overheard him. What we do transfers to the debt service funds. In the debt service funds, that's where we record interest payments, principal payments, and what is due with debt service. So if the board is interested to know how much we have paid or what's outstanding, I'll be more than happy or glad to bring that to your attention.
Send it to Tony.
Yes. I should have known better than to ask a question like that, right? He was waiting outside the door for a question like that. He came in faster than I could think of.
For my office. I heard my
No,
name
fine.
twice. So
It was kind of odd to me to see debt services staying flat for 2 years, flat. I mean, these are supposed to be, well, they were supposed to be projections, right? So when the projections end up being, the projection being the actual expenditure, it's sort of, sort of curiosity of knowing, okay, well, I thought we spent some money and we're paying more. Or when we float the bond, do we float a bond for the whole amount and we're paying for the whole amount all the time?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman and Supervisor Reyes, the adopted 2022-23 budget, the debt service for the buildings and the loans was $12.5 million. And for the final adopted budget for 23-24, that increased to $14.7 million, primarily due to the higher debt service on the 2022 bond issuance.
And Sharon, as a board member, last fiscal year, the board did an excellent job paying off those outstanding debts, saving constituents a lot of interest.
All right. I'm okay.
That was that 10 million, right?
I got it. Thanks, Gil.
So that 10 million set aside, we were able to pay that down. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Gil.
So the only one other comment I'd like to make, unless you have other questions, is on the legal services line item. We have a set aside for in non-departmental 450,000, and then and that's used for any of the departments that have legal type expenses, the transcription, any of the court stuff. So it's a set aside that's there to utilize. So we had, but we did eat into that a little bit this year with some direct legal fees. We had 270,000 of that left. But on the conflict administrator side of things, we did hire a full-time conflict administrator last year as an FTE. The thought was that when you hired that we reduce legal expenses and contract, and that has happened, and they had a significant savings in legal fees from that. So that was a good move on, I guess, our part to do that. So I guess as far as if any other questions, it was very short, just high level, general fund only presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Tony.
Mr. Chairman, if I wanted to commend Tony and his staff, and also working with finance to be within under 2% for projection for expenditures, and then at 0.4% for total revenue projection versus actual is, you don't get much better than that. So
No.
thank you for that work.
I think that's exceptional.
Thanks again, Tony. Yeah.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Gil.
Moving on to legislative issues. Alejandro?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Alejandro Figueroa, Economic Development and Intergovernmental Affairs. Start with the state. As you know, the County Supervisors Association of Arizona will be hosting its annual Legislative Policy Summit on October 11th through the 13th in Flagstaff. Sorry for that. So this year, the CSA's board of directors, made up of all county supervisors in the state of Arizona, will discuss the upcoming year's political context, deliberate, and ultimately adopt the association's resolutions, legislative agenda, and advocacy strategies for the upcoming legislative session. I've listed the 14 different proposals just to let you know that, remind you that the green one, the one from Coconino County, titled Recapitalized Wildfire Emergency Response Fund, has been supported by this Board of Supervisors. And then Coconino County just alerted me that they'll be pulling out the military installation language proposal from the CSA's consideration this time around. Also, supervisors and professional staff will have an opportunity to hear from the CSA's guest speakers, Senator Ken Bennett, Representative David Cook, Senator Teresa Hattile, and Senator Sundaration. senators and representatives will participate in the facilitated panel discussion and have a chance to respond to questions about the future of Arizona. Back. I would also like to inform the board that the RFP seeking professional lobbying services will be closing on October 13. While we have not received any proposals as of Friday of last week, we have received a couple of questions from potential applicants. Governor Hobbs announced that she pulled 13 individuals who she had appointed to director-level positions across a variety of state agencies from the Senate's new Director Nominations Committee. The Committee on Director Nominations was created with the sole purpose of evaluating Governor Hobbs's executive nominees and presenting the recommendations to the body. Arizona state law requires the Senate's consent to officially appoint nominees as directors. While the idea of evaluating nominees in a committee isn't a new one, this is the first time that a separate committee was created with the sole purpose of evaluating nominees. In years prior, nominees were confirmed by the Senate's regular standing committees in the hope that committee members' subject matter expertise would help them in their evaluation of expert nominees to agencies with very specific charges and goals. Due to the Committee on Director Nominations taking too long to hold hearings for nominees, a process that normally takes no more than a few months, state agencies have been operating without official leadership. To continue within legal limits while also appointing leadership to agencies currently without directors, Governor Hobbs will reassign her nominees as the deputy directors, which do not require confirmation from the Senate. Lastly, on the state, the Sonoran Institute is hosting its 5th Arizona Growing Waters Mark workshop on January 22nd and 24th of next year at the Babbitt Center for Land and Water Policy in Phoenix. And it's seeking applicants. Throughout the duration of this free workshop, officials receive training that will help localities better integrate water and land use planning strategies for overall water savings. After completing the workshop, eligibility to apply for technical assistance funding is extended to alumni communities, including up to $10,000 to achieve a water or land use integration strategy. On the federal level, on Saturday, September 30th, the Senate voted 88-9 to approve a stopgap spending bill to fund the federal government through November 17, narrowly averting a shutdown by a midnight deadline. President Biden signed the bill into law shortly afterward. The legislation includes $16 billion in emergency disaster assistance requested by the White House and extends authorization for the Federal Aviation Administration through the end of the year. It does not include any additional aid to Ukraine. Early in the day, the House had voted 335-91 to approve the extension. Speaker McCarthy had refused for weeks to consider any spending bill that would require the support of the Democrats. But facing the potential for a politically and economically harmful shutdown, McCarthy reversed course, specifically calling on Democrats for help passing the bill. Republican representatives from Arizona, Andy Biggs, Eli Crane, Paul Gosar, Debbie Lesko, and David Streichert were among the 90 members of their party who opposed the continuing resolution, which aims to keep the federal spending at current levels for another 45 days. On the international front, the Arizona Board of Counties Coalition, which Yuma County is part of, sent a letter to DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas urging him to reverse the directive that moves Customs and Border Protection personnel out of the ports of entry to assist Border Patrol in their migrant enforcement operations. The letter reads, and I quote, "As Border Counties, we are cognizant of the dire situation faced by Border Patrol as we live it every day. And we have no doubt that you are aware of the role that ports of entry play in our communities, including the essential functions that support industrial and commercial supply chains, facilitating the flow of visitors that are critical for our tourism and retail sectors and are at the forefront for efforts to protect the homeland against many threats, including terrorism, the flow of clear narcotics, and human smuggling." End of quotes. And that will be my report or update to the board, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions to Alejandro?
One question. What is happening across the border in Mexicali? Did they open up the fair?
They did. They did open up the fair on the 29th, Friday the 29th. We're being hosted by Mayor of Mexicali today for the state of the city, I'm sorry, in Mexicali this afternoon. But yeah, those are the two events happening in Mexicali right now. And if I may just, and you know, I mean, there's some issues going on across the border in San Luis de Colorado with the Marine, the Navy, you know, being at odds with the municipality. They were trying to arrest a couple of municipal officers down there, and the mayor resisted, and so there's been a lot going on between the federal government and the local government in San Luis de Colorado right now as far as security goes.
It's not our position to take a position for the residents of Yuma County, but, you know, we probably need to tell them, just be careful. Go out there and be careful.
Thank you, Alejandro. Summary of current events.
Amelie's Place, GYEC, was in DC to testify regarding some of our challenges on the border. Talked to them specifically about shutting down the ports, asked them to reallocate, met with Cinema staff, met with Arizona Chamber, and then testified the following day.
Thank you.
And received multiple phone calls, emails, and texts regarding solar project out east.
Supervisor Simmons.
Met with several Foothills residents about zoning issues out there. Met with Rich Marks, Welton Town Manager, just kind of touching bases with them. Attended the CSA Board of Directors meeting via Zoom. Met with some developers, reference Foothills issues, I guess. Spoke to about 5 classes of government, high school students at Antelope, just discussing county government and how it kind of works and where it falls into the system. Met with a neighborhood group in Los Barrancas, again, zoning issues. And I met with James Sheldall, can't pronounce that right, Sheldall at Yuma School District 1. He just had some questions about the dynamics out in the Foothills area and some questions on what I thought. So we met, and then numerous calls and text reference to zoning issues out east, including Houdini and others. That's it.
I also spoke with Mr. Sheldall.
Here comes Lynn.
Oh, sorry, Lynn, we already missed you.
Oh, darn. Are we finished?
No,
Okay.
next.
Oh, I'm next. Okay. Let's see. I went to my regional committee on aging with WACOG, the state legislature's town hall that they had at AWC. I did a proclamation for General Aviation Month out at the airport. I attended the CSA Executive Committee meeting and the Board of Directors meeting. I attended planning and zoning meeting via our website, and I attended Women Conquering Alzheimer's via Zoom. I attended several of the Arizona at Work service provider staff meetings. I attended YMPO, and this afternoon I have a co-ed meeting. So that's it.
No.
Right. Okay, okay. I got a bunch of calls from Gaston. I didn't have a chance to meet with Leon about this, but I thought the substation, the main focus was security. So they talked about the substation, which I thought was a rural metro.
They signed it over to the city or to the county.
But I found out through the sheriff that wasn't the case, that it was just a matter of us being able to refurbish it or restart it, and that the sheriff was willing to at least not locate an officer full time, because it's not, but to have a place for the Stone Garden people, they have a closer location. So
reports and stuff.
I just wanted to bring that up and see, to get a report on what we need to do to activate that location. I mean, it's in the middle of South County. It's the only location out there that's close by. They're complaining that it takes too long for the sheriff to get there sometimes. Those type of things are always kind of iffy because when you really look at the figures, you find out sometimes it doesn't take that long. But having a location for the sheriff in that portion of South County would be beneficial. So please give me a report on that. We had a meeting, founding members, basically, of the Greater Yuma Port Authority had a meeting at the Tocopah Resort sometime last week, or the week before last, I think it was. To discuss possible distributions of funds and possible restructuring of the Greater Yuma Port Authority. We expect to have one meeting on Wednesday, which I've requested an item placed in the agenda to discuss basically what the members have expressed, as opposed to what the board members may want for the Greater Yuma Port Authority. So, you know, we think we're going to come up with some sort of a distribution formula that we want to keep the Greater Yuma Port Authority functioning at the same time that we try to alleviate some of the issues that come anytime you have something to distribute. In this particular case, there's been discussions about a distribution formula. There's been discussions about the future of the Greater Yuma Port Authority and what it would do, and what it's set up to do. Now that the real estate basis for that, for their actions is gone. So I just wanted to keep you sort of up to date on those issues as they come up. That's it for me.
You want to talk about the $1 million from for Water County being allocated?
No, you talk about it.
I attended a GYDC, YMPO, the CSA meeting. I'll be heading or be the chair for the Medium County Caucus next year. So. And I know, Lynn, you'll be, for the executive board, you'll be the first?
I'll be first vice president and starting in November, and you'll be head of the Medium County caucuses, yes.
And I did receive the letter. I don't know if you received it, but that border counties, I know the governor was going to send, or that Mayorkas sent $1 million to deal with the situation that with that letter that was sent. I don't know how they're gonna distribute that, but that was supposed to be for all 4 counties. I don't, you know, so maybe we can find out on that.
It's a little bit iffy yet about how it's going to be used, but $1 million is not exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for a solution at the border that deals with more than that. It's an issue. It's not just a monetary issue, but I think what was taken out in the letter is the easiest solution would be to send money to handle the extra flow of migrants, which is, it's a problem, especially in Santa Cruz and Pima. It's not really that yet, not a particular problem here.
However, Tony, it could be.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be, yeah. But I'm thinking they're responding to the issues as they're happening right now in Santa Cruz and Cochise County, where
they have street releases.
Yeah, they have street releases, and they're trying to deal with that because Pima County is handling that. They're trying to deal with that, and again, it's a policy issue that we need to address. So you know, it's going to create problems no matter what. If everything reaches Yuma, maybe later, but.
Mr. Chairman, just a reminder, this is just calendar and events, not much.
Mr. Chairman, could we place that on a future agenda to have that discussion?
Thank you.
Thank
you, Supervisor.
Quite possibly for the 16th, just because of some of the challenges posed in other counties.
Or having.
May I read this? It may present a brief summary of current events and may update the schedule.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, just briefly attended likewise with Supervisor Pancrazio the State Legislative Town Hall at AWC, participated in the meeting with Supervisor Reyes and Chairman Porteous regarding Greater Yuma Port Authority. A reminder to the board of the Law Enforcement Training Academy groundbreaking event happening this Thursday, October 5th at 9 a.m. at AWC. And I was away for a few days, so I wanted to thank Deputy County Administrator Josh Scott for minding the store in my absence. And that's it. Thank you.
All right. Josh, anything? No? All right.
He had black hair before you left.
Yeah, I didn't call it because I thought, well, why stress about it? You adjourn.